Have you seen King Ross's, the barbershop quartet thing? Oh, are you sure they didn't use any doctoring to get the notes right? No? Fast count, fast count, fast count, fast count. Hello everyone, I'm Jack from WhatCulture.com and you're watching the Fast Count. Now let's start off with all of this week's WWE news. First off, and you might have suspected this will be the first news item on the list, the brand split is coming back. That's right, Shane and Stephanie McMahon have announced that SmackDown won't just be moving to Tuesdays in a new 2-hour slot, it'll also be live and will feature its own unique cast and writing department. This is full of potential positives and negatives. It could lead to a lot of undercard superstars getting more exposure on a different brand without having to worry too much about being shoved down by the main eventers. It could also lead to the creation of an exclusive women's or tag team division. It could also lead to a new top tier belt or maybe the elevation of the Intercontinental Championship. There are so many possibilities, and while it's impossible to tell really how much WWE will make of this opportunity they've created for themselves, I'm feeling quite cautiously optimistic. It's certainly a step in the right direction. In any other week, this will be the top news item. Unfortunately, this week's been busting with news, but I'll mention it anyway. Seth Rollins is back on the main roster. Interfered after the main event of Extreme Rules, pedigreed Roman Reigns, and stood there and laps up the applause. Now, obviously, he's going to remain a heel for now, but don't rule out the possibility of maybe a double turn in future featuring Roman. Might be too optimistic. And the name of the next NXT TakeOver special has been announced by Triple H, and it's a curious one and a bit of a worrying one if you're a fan of NXT. If not, why not? It's fantastic. It's called NXT TakeOver The End. Now, this could be the end of a lot of things. Hopefully it doesn't mean the end of NXT because it's fantastic. It could mean the end of Finn Balor or Samoa Joe, or indeed their feud. It could mean the end of the old guard in NXT as people like Finn, Bayley, Nakamura hopefully all progress to the main roster and they bring in a new batch of fresh talent. It is certainly a worrying one, but I'm again feeling cautiously optimistic for this one. It's having a great week, aren't I? And now for all of the news from elsewhere in the insane world of professional wrestling. It's just crazy, isn't it? It's just absolutely unbelievable sometimes, you bloody wrestlers. First off, the Best of the Super Juniors tournament over in New Japan is well underway, and it's been a bit surprising so far. Not a lot of the favourites have got off to a good start. Kushida is yet to win a match, Bushi is yet to win a match given his affiliation with the current champion Naito, and Will Ospreay just beat Ricochet. That blows this point out of the water. The booking hasn't gone exactly how everyone thought. There's been a lot of surprise wins so far and a lot of surprise losses as well. One thing that does remain constant is the fact that Kyle O'Reilly is dominating and should still be regarded one of the favourites to win the entire tournament. A title match has been announced for next week's edition of Lucha Underground. Wacky luchas. Current champion Matanza Cueto will be taking on maybe the most terrifying man in the world, Brian Cage. He's certainly incredibly scary. He's basically if Ryback had a short back and sides and was a better wrestler. On this week's show, Cage defeated Chavo Guerrero and claimed the Gift of the Gods Championship, which gives him a title opportunity whenever he wanted, and he decided to waste no time, and he will be cashing that in next week. Some decidedly less wacky news now as we head into the worlds of business and law, things which I know nothing about, so we'll see how this goes. Hulk Hogan's recent prosecution of Gorka has been revealed to have been backed by a mystery financer. Well, I say mystery, that's now also been revealed as well. No, it wasn't Vince McMahon, it wasn't Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, and it wasn't the Yeti. It was actually a legit businessman, and his name is smooth as Peter Thiel. Oh, I've pronounced it wrong and everything. Peter Thiel is the co-owner of PayPal and has had a long-running feud with Gorka relating to a case in 2007, which I like to put in wrestling terms as even longer than Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, who started their feud in 2008. So you can see why Thiel, or Teal, he's German-American, I don't know. You can see why he'll have had a vested interest in helping Hulk Hogan crush those dastardly Gorka bastards. And now for all of this week's yummy, delicious takeaways. There have been a lot of news stories floating around recently regarding the potential returns of a lot of shelved WWE superstars. Obviously, they've had a lot of injuries in the past year or so. Up on the main roster, you've got Sasha Banks, who reportedly suffered a concussion. In the longer term, you've got Randy Orton coming back potentially in the near future. Neville. Down on NXT, you've got Hideo Itami. Remember him? Yeah, he's been out for a hell of a long time. These could all be coming back soon, and that can only enhance the product going forwards. And then on the flip side of that, we've also had a lot of releases to talk about. The big one is obviously Cody Rhodes, who posted a very, very interesting kind of manifesto, if you will, on his Twitter account. His wife Eden, the ring announcer, she's left as well, and Adam Rose, in maybe the least surprising of the three, was granted his release this week also. So some losses as well to report amongst the superstars coming back. And finally, June looks to be shaping up to be a very exciting month in the world of wrestling, both indie and WWE. You've got NXT TakeOver, The End, on the 8th of June. You've got TNA's Slammiversary on the 12th of June. Money in the Bank's obviously at the end of this month, but the one that we're all most excited for, if you haven't seen the announcement already, is the first live show from WCPW, WhatCulture Pro Wrestling. It goes without saying that we're all massively excited to be a part of this, and we can't wait to see as many of you there as possible. Tickets are available at wc.pw. See what we've done? Because wc.pw. So that's all we've got time for on this week's edition of The Fast Count. I've been Jack from WhatCulture.com. Follow me on Twitter at Jack_the_jobber. I am desperately close to 20,000 followers, even though I've not told anyone else how excited I am about that. Very excited. And I'll see you soon.
WhatCulture.com are releasing a new magazine about wrestling, and it's called Wrestling. It'll have 140 pages of timeless wrestling content, including a brand new How WWE Should Have Booked written by this virulent son of a bitch. It will also have a list of the 100 best wrestling matches of all time compiled by WhatCulture staff and wrestling insiders. So the magazine is available to pre-order now. Follow the link in the description and enjoy WhatCulture.com's Wrestling.